Unbelievable, another saga. See how Yoruba Muslims reacted to blasphemies of students at the University of Ibadan. Unlike our sister, what happened to her in Sokoto is still very fresh and resonating in the hearts of so many of us. What happened in Sokoto is still unprecedented. Now Ibadan is Oyo State, the capital, where we have University of Ibadan, the great University of Ibadan. Again, there's another issue of blaspheming. One person saying something about the prophet or not. All over Nigeria, we have both Muslims and Christians. And may I just put it there, okay, put a spanner to the wheel that Nigeria is not a Sharia nation. No, was not and will never be. Okay, Nigeria is not governed by Christian laws, Muslim laws, or whichever country. Nigeria is a sovereign nation, a republic governed by what we call the Constitution. Now, this constitution is made up of what Nigeria, although what we have is a fraud, okay? So, what Nigeria people have agreed, really code of conduct under which people are ruled, and this is supposed to be under that place, supposed to be freedom of what choice for religion. So this is what happened in University of Ibadan, another saga. How Yoruba Muslims reacted to blasphemous students at the University of Ibadan. There was a case worse than that of Miss Deborah Samuel Yakubu at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. In August 2010, a Christian law student of the University of Ibadan, Miss Shewon Adegoinsi, who was a first-class student, attended a Jemaat service of the University Central Mosque during the first Friday of that year, Ramadan. At the sermon, the prayers began as the Imam said, Allahu Akbar, and the congregation followed this in the same suit. As expected, everything became silent and quiet, save the voice of the Imam, who would be reciting what the others should say afterwards. Then Shehu began to roar at the top of her voice, preaching the word of the gospel in the mosque. She came into the mosque while that was going on. Shehu won't stop as she continues with blasphemous words this, of this and that. No matter the amount of congregation, you won't enter the paradise. Allah is not God. Jesus is Lord. Except Jesus is your Savior, Lord, and your personal Lord and Savior, you are not safe. You are going to hell. Of course, everyone in the mosque was confused, and at the same time, it was the end of which this has never happened before then. It was an outrage and unprecedented. Nay, it was sacrilege. After the prayers, the Muslim youth has besieged the female quarters where Shion was. They had hoofed and poofed to mortalize her until she eventually lands in hospital or lay in her grave. The Muslim elders in the mosque has words what might really happen. So they rushed out to protect the lady and quenched the protest. The Muslim elders, the elders. The case later got to the hearing of the vice chancellor. The professor at that time, the vice chancellor invited the parents of the lady with four-man committee from the central mosque. After considering the circumstances around the incident that the VC himself described as surprising and unfortunate, Professor Bemiru resolved to suspend the student as everyone should have right to their religion and one not interfering with the other. But the Muslim elders and leaders, they took the tenets of Islam and the teaching of the noble prophet and did not allow the youth to take laws into their hands. They begged on behalf of her to ensure that she stay to do her exam, even though she has been suspended. Actually, the commencement of the facility of law around that time. So you can see two different issues. The same word saying, oh, you blasphemed the prophet, you did not blaspheme the prophet. Two different approaches in dealing with it. Okay, two different approaches in dealing with the same matter. So what are we talking about? perspective on this matter is very important. What's the perspective? How are even the elders seeing these things? And what part are they playing in ensuring that the youths, okay, do not take laws into their hands? Because what has happened, if the elders do not, if, for instance, do you know that for Samuel, okay, what has happened to her? Instead of her getting justice, when they came to court, should I tell you what happened? Should I tell you what happened? There were 34 lawyers. You heard me. 34 lawyers ready, okay, to defend this man who has committed this devilish crime. 34 lawyers. Not one, not two, not three. 34. Okay? University of Ibadan, that's where we have, Sheyi Makinde as the governor. And instead of him allowing, no, he stood, and, this is what happened back in 2010. The elders in the mosque were the one who says, this girl has done something that is wrong. Allow the Muslims to pray. Let them, don't go there. If they want to become Christian, you are not God that will leave God to touch them. If they want to become Christians, they want to become Muslims. You are not the God who will. I don't get it, honestly. I don't get it. Trying very hard to, understand how people take laws into their hands, all in a bid to fight, for God Himself. So instead of the elders allowing these youths to take laws into their hands, they did not allow it. They did not allow it. They were the one who even begged for the girl to say, you know what, let her finish her exams, and that dose of, especially in that very heat of the whole, what she's done is wrong and all that. The elders, they dozed off the whole tension. They took the matter, got to the school VC, who called the parents of the girl and what have you. That you are a Christian does not mean you go there and start infringing or imposing your belief. Remember, it's your belief on anybody. Please accept people's position. Accept it. If you don't accept people's what they believe, then you want to turn yourself into a god. Their god. No, not acceptable. So leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Please don't forget to like us, share, subscribe. God bless. Have a fantastic day. Bye for now.